Welcome in to Click Boom Sail. My name is Steve.
And I'm Bora. In our last episode, Steve found a boat that met all of our needs. So we sent a surveyor aboard to have a look, and it was impressive. So we flew to Trinidad to participate in the sea trial and haul out.
Between the captain, the surveyor, and the two sales brokers, there was a lot of experience present. Step aboard with us and listen to what these guys had to say.
We'd like to hear about your experiences too. We'd like you to hear any tips or stories you'd like to share. And don't forget to click that like button. Joining us on board for the sea trial and haul out was an international cast of would-be Caribbean pirates. There was the seller's broker from South Africa, the boat's gardiennage, who was the captain from the UK, the boat's crew, local from Trinidad, the surveyor, a Frenchman, and our broker from the US, Jack Silver, the perfect name for a pirate.
This winch also was sticking this foot switch.
Yeah, a little bit, but it's been working freely ever since. I've had the sail up and down twice since.
Tony mentioned that he could get that
Changing the buttons, yeah,
changed out.
Yeah, I would consider changing the buttons, to be honest.
And the sea trial has begun.
All these guys are seasoned sailors. They've all had boats, more than one, and they all have experience fixing things on their own boats.
You know what I do over here is I take a 8mm drill and I drill a hole through there and I tie that off.
Yeah.
Because people come along, they don't know the boat, and they go, which is the and they go, oh, sorry, that's the wrong one, they shut it, but what they've done is they've let the tension off.
Yeah,
and next time you go to use it,
right,
you get a halyard wrap, and that's in the
What I do is I take this slack, I put it over the top, and I use a wire tie.
Okay, so that's the same thing.
Yeah, so you can't lift it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no stretch on the cloth, there's no structural damage, the stitches are still good. This part of the net goes all the way through, so this is just the overlap that's closing, so this fabric goes all around and down. So this is sun damage, but the pulling and the net itself is fine.
Okay.
Also you can see here where they are joined, it's two panels that are joined, and very often it will start to split here. The gluing or the stitching will split, and this part of the net will separate from this part, but in this case it's still good. It is working and it is good, but you have to expect that in the next 2 or 3 years.
Okay.
This one has a little bit of play, so you see there's some water has settled in it. Now the great thing about this model and the way that this boat was built is that it's a cord structure. So the laminate has fiberglass, and then balsa wood, and then fiberglass. But in the way of these, and in a lot of the through-hull fittings and everything, they bring it back to single fiberglass. So it's cored, and then it's tapered back to a single solid fiberglass and bolted in that patch. So the wood, the balsa, cannot get any water from there. So in here, it's just in the fiberglass laminate.
Yes.
There's no water and grace going into the balsa wood, so there's no rot in the core, and you can walk everywhere, and everything is firm, and there's no soft spot, and there's no cracks on the gel coat, apart from this one, very minor cracks over there. But so this one would have to be taken off, reseated. But I mean, this is this is such a minor.
Yeah, sure.
compared to the coat, you know? And all of the others I found were very stiff.
Excellent.
We're right now on the autopilot.
It's working well.
Well, there's not much load on it, so it's kind of
Easy job for it right now.
job, yeah. But I mean, it is a good unit, so it will work. It will do what it's supposed to do.
Outstanding.
All right, shall we get the Genoa out?
Yeah, let's go. Wait, do you want to bear off a little bit? I sail personally with that open and that locked off all the time, so if I have to dump the main and the power, I can just do it quickly with that. Or you can sail.
Now, why did you want to keep the main
I may go on the rig.
in and do that manually?
Right, all I like to do when I've got the main sail up is I like to make sure that I've got the tension on the winch is taking all the pressure of the main sheet and the clutch is open. All right, so that if something changes very quickly and I want to dump all the power, all I've got to do is let go of that winch, let it go, and the main will spill all its wind out of the sail and depower the boat. If I've got that clutch locked here and I take the pressure off here,
It's
end
still
up not being able to open that because there's not equal pressure either side of the clutch. So that can end up jamming and then they have to rewrap that and it takes too much time. So from a safety point of view, I leave that open and the main sheet on the winch all the time.
okay.
Everybody has slightly different ways of sailing, and obviously Tony and Jack have got their way
Sure,
and
yeah.
how they do things, but it's just everyone's slightly different. You all have different ideas and different techniques.
Mm-hmm. Deborah and I would love to come back to Trini
Do some training for it.
and maybe have you teach us how to run the
No
thing
problem at all.
at least twice, you know.
That's not an issue.
So here there's different layers that are stitched together. So there is some dark and some moisture
On the
within
inside.
layers on the inside. So you won't get it completely clean. If you really want white sails, you have to buy new. It's just not gonna happen.
No, I'm not all anal about what color my sails are. I want them to work.
Yeah.
That's what's big for me. It's got to work.
Sounds like me when I get up in the morning.
Do anything to our speed?
You notice up to 5 for a second and then
What do you think about the life remaining on the lines?
Oh, there's lots of light.
Lots of life. Okay.
So this is just mold from not being used. What I do with my lines is I go to Ace Hardware and I buy a $4 bucket and I get all the lines and I put them into the bucket with Stay Soft
Stay soft.
fabric softener
Okay.
and fill it through hot water and I just leave them for 2 days in the Stay Soft.
But this is an outer cover. The core of the rope is on the inside,
Which is the
so this is, as long as the cover that you see here is still in one piece.
Yeah.
Then the core inside is going to be fine. There's no problem.
Good save, Tony. Good save.
What I
Tony
have
saved
on
the
my
day
boat
again.
is I have a line from here, a 3mm line or a 5mm line from there, and it comes down to that point there, and it comes down to that point over there, and the Genoa sheets rest on the outside. So you never have a point where this thing will jam on here. On my boat I've got the windows here, and sometimes there's a window open, and you get this line caught under the window.
But what about your hatches? I mean, in this case, you won't be able to do that with the hatches. But
No, you can. You just have to make sure you don't trip over it when you're drunk.
yes, Steve, I was telling you about the anti-UV band. That's that blue cover that's wrapped around the Genoa.
Right.
That's where the stitches are.
It needs replacing the
No,
whole
no,
band
no,
or just
no,
the
no, no.
stitching?
Just the stitches.
Oh,
Every-
easier.
Oh yeah,
Much easier.
I just redid both of my sails, and I don't know what the rule is. I'd say every 5-8 years or something like that, or sooner, depending on the wear.
Come up over there.
No, it's coming into the wind, mate. You're right. Oh, well, Oscar might want help up there. I thought you were offering me. I thought you were going to hold my hand or something. Yeah.
Oh
Gin and
Lord,
tonic?
that is so civilized. Look at that.
The key is to keep the boat into the wind, and then the sail will fall in nice, straightforward, in minimal effort, and it will fan forward, and I'll show you.
So you're just running up the RPM to see if it heats up, or
I will do that after. First, I want to do a steering test. So I lock, I do a full turn on one side, come back, and then do a full turn on the other side, just to see if the steering is centered and locks on both ways. Okay, locking to starboard. How high can you push the engines?
I normally go up to about 26, 2700 max. I normally say about 25, and then I know I've got another couple of thousand RPM if I, just 200 RPM if I need it in an emergency.
Can we do a test of?
Say again?
Can we do a test of high power?
Of course you can. Yeah, no problem at all. Yeah, go ahead.
Just going to take it to full revs.
Almost on the plane.
500.
Full revs, full revs.
Absolutely sweet, no smoke. Nothing.
On both sides?
Yeah. You want to look? You want to take a selfie?
What's that alarm?
We're doing 7 knots. Because the boat is doing
What's that alarm?
Sorry?
What's that alarm?
What alarm? No, that alarm would be my telephone in my pocket.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you're right.
Well, we're cranked up to high power, and all of a sudden there's a beep.
You know what? This boat was purchased. This boat was purchased in 2008 up in Tortola.
Yeah.
It was sailed across to Tortola on the build. Their main time this was used was a trip from Tortola down to Trinidad, and they did it. They probably went out a couple of times during 2009, 2010, and then pretty much from 2011 it's kind of been used less and less. But fortunately for as he was as an owner, he's never stopped the maintenance. He'd come out and play. When he first bought this boat, everyone used to say, Stephen, if you keep cleaning this boat every week, you're going to wash the gel coats off it. And he would, and it's important. He appreciates as well. It's little things like running the engine. They have to be run, and they have to. Even if we're just moving her from the mooring onto the jetty, we bring her out to 5 islands just to get everything moving, keep sure everything's in place and nothing's seizing up.
you want me to throw him a bow line?
Yeah, chuck him a bow line, please, Jack. That'd be great.
I'm always scared to give them the bow line because they cleat it off.
Yeah, it's amazing what a difference the AC makes down there.
Why'd we shut it off?
Why? We're coming to lift out the water. There's certain things. It's not like we're just coming alongside the dock and we're going to sit there a little bit. I've got to leave the boat as well. we shut it off because we shut the generator down, we shut the engines down. I want to make sure all the seacocks are closed so that we don't drain the water out of the bottom, and so that we don't, when we go back in the water, we don't have an airlock. And even with simple things, the air conditioning runs on pumps and it sucks up salt water. So if you create an airlock and all the water drains out and then you put it back in and it doesn't quite suck properly, you can end up with an airlock in the system and burning out your motor. Minded not to touch the nice hot engine.
Oh, right.
Turn this side here. There's a little safety pin that stops it from closing.
About 15 turns.
20. Too many.
Too bloody many.
Too many in this seat.
Yeah, because we had last time she was out, we took the box off, got them serviced, and we put the new boots on.
But they're not sealing?
No, they are sealing. What it is when the guys come and clean the bottom and they scrape, they just pull it down a little bit, and it just comes off. But some people don't even bother putting these on. But the owner insists that we use the boots on them. It doesn't do anything. You know when I was saying you seacock,
yeah,
sucking the raw water. These are the holes where the raw water's sucked in.
Okay.
So this is classed as a sail drive, this style.
Yes.
So the raw water is sucked in here, up into the engine, through the cooling system, then spat out the exhaust.
Okay.
So that seacock that I'm turning is locking off, so that the water is locked off in here, so it won't drain back out and cause a problem. So when we go back in the water,
airlock.
exactly. So when we go back in the water and we submerge below the water line, I then open it back up, and it's equilibrium.
I'm going to go see Bastian over here.
Okay.
There has a little bit of osmosis. This is the only one I've seen so far that's bigger than a quarter-inch. Yeah, all of this you can just sand off, no problem. That's on repair and paint. That's not an issue. Blisters, the bigger ones that are actual osmosis blister, the same thing. You can grind them, put a bit of fiberglass or just filler, paint over it, no problem. The problem is that you're fixing one blister, which there's no boat that ever sunk because of osmosis. The boat doesn't die of osmosis. But if you want to actually repair it, it takes longer. So the longer you let it sit and you let it exist and you live with it, the longer it will take to fix eventually. And the fix is really to take it out of the water and wait. And go down to bare fiberglass and
But they've
wait
never had
and
to
wait
do
and
a
wait.
gel strip on a Leopard.
We have divers that come and clean the hull.
And that's
This
how
could
that
have also
happened.
been where they had a stand and they did the paint, and then the night before they pulled the stand and they did a quick paint and put it in the water and it wasn't done properly.
Oh, that's not the style of Steven. I'm pretty sure that he had it removed properly.
Be careful that you don't frighten these people with what you say.
Yeah.
Because I've seen this kind of stuff and I've never seen a boat taken out the water for 3 or 4 months. I mean, you're talking in a perfect world. This kind of thing, you'd grind that down, you'd slick it with a little bit of epoxy, and you maybe, if you really wanted to, you'd put a hot light on it overnight, or like a heat gun, and you slick it, you ferret
If you
it
want to
down.
band-aid something.
No,
Pardon?
it's
It's not a band-aid. It's like
these. I mean, this is a non-issue on this
absolute
boat.
non-issue.
If
These
you-
are the two salesmen speaking.
No, it's not.
No,
a
no,
Yeah.
I've rebuilt.
I'm going to
boats.
have a report on in writing.
But you pull boats out and they're covered with blisters, and a lot of them are just little pinhole things. But when you start
These
getting
aren't
them where
pinholes.
when you start getting
It's a
them,
quarter.
you
These
know,
are sizes.
25 to
There's
50
more than
cents.
one.
And smell vinegar. Yeah, so that's exactly right. There's no issue there.
You can smell it, huh?
Yeah, that's how you know. You can smell the vinegar.
Oh, yeah, there it is.
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh,
down
you
there.
look at that. It's they probably have never used it.
It's we keep it wrapped up and secure. So this is your head. This is your head opening for this side. Out of the head there, and then you've got your raw water intake for your toilet there as well. And then that's your paddle wheel with a little wheel on the bottom, and that's just your blank cap. So yeah. Okay. Thanks, mate. You've got plenty of water coming out that side, Tony.
Yeah, you've got 1.5 meters.
Cool. No, I mean water.
Yeah,
Out of the
plenty of water.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Thanks, guys. Yeah, we're going
An
to drop the
anchor
anchor.
thing.
We're just going to go up to 5 islands where it's a bit shallower.
Okay.
Because at the moment we're in 27. No, we're only 27, but we can't really anchor in the middle of this.
Hopefully it's
It's a
not
bit of a
raining
channel.
then, because I'd
It
love
will
to
be. It
film.
will probably be raining for you.
Better get the
Steve.
GoPro then. Put this one
I
away.
don't want to get your foul weather gear. And,
I don't know about that.
And get the water through.
Just want to test the windlass under load because we tested it just for function. But sometimes when they're under load, they keep tripping. So I want to make sure that
Yeah, what's the big bridles for?
What that does, if you're underneath and looking at it, it acts, when the chain goes down, it creates a center pull for it.
It'll on a cat because you've got two separate holes.
Yeah.
And you drop on a monohull, you drop it straight over the centre, and you just pivot on that one hull.
Mm-hmm.
On a cat, that bridle is designed to act like your one hull in the middle to keep it central for you.
Centers.
So because you're not dropping it over one hull or the other, you're dropping it central. The bridle acts as like your centre point instead of your single hull boat. So you're dropping it in the middle, and it then yeah, basically in the middle of the boat. So it then means that bridle focuses the anchor's point at the middle of the boat. If that makes sense to you.
Next time on Click Boom Sail. While the boat is hauled out, Steve goes sailing with some buddies.
But I've got a lagoon for 10 for sale in Martinique.
I saw that one.
€1,000 to have it painted baby shit brown.
I saw that one. Baby shit brown hulls.
Glitter.